Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Avisha, and I will be your MC for the day. Before we begin our assembly, I'd like to remind everyone to switch off their cell phones or put them in silent mode. Welcome to Beacon Academy. Today we are all gathered here to witness a noble collaboration of Beacon Academy with two organizations, Yayasan Peduli Tuna Daksa, also known as Limb for the Limbless, and Eco Youth Club. It is with great privilege that we introduce Bhavish Advani, founder of Eco Youth Club and alumni of Beacon Academy. Bhavish will further elaborate on the mission and vision of this foundation, which will be then followed by an interesting demo. Please put your hands together for Bhavish Advani.
Thank you, Avisha, for the introduction. Good morning to every one of you. It's a great joy to be up here again after 7 years. Mr. Arvind and Mr. Richard are laughing there. They know they've been missing my voice. So it's, I think, an honor that once again, after 7 years, Beacon Academy is once again hosting our very own limb donation in this very auditorium. June 15, 2017, we marked history in Beacon Academy. It was when I was school captain, and we were just grade 11 at that time. Beacon Academy hosted our first ever limb donation. At that time, we had raised about 13 million, and we had donated 13 limbs to those in need. And today, once again, after 7 years, thanks to FOBA and Beacon Academy, we get to help those in needy by donating 15 limbs. So let me just introduce what is Eco Youth and what is Limb for the Limbless Center. I founded Eco Youth in my university in Singapore in Jan 2017 with the aim that people say there's a lot of issues in the world, climate change, poverty, disability, but people just talk. So I thought, what can we as a youth do to make an impact? Even if it's a small impact, every impact counts, every action makes a big difference. Our mission is to raise awareness about global issues and work towards improving society and the environment. We envision a world where the SDGs are not just goals, but a reality. To achieve this vision, we have worked tirelessly on doing tree planting, beach cleanups, partnerships with NGOs around the world, including the limb donations. We have worked with NGOs, like during the COVID, we have worked with UPAI in Pune, in India, to help provide oxygen cylinders to those in need. We have worked with One Tree Planted in Bangalore to raise funds to plant trees. And in Indonesia, we have worked with SLC to provide wheelchairs for those in need. And of course, our biggest and most popular initiative, working with Limbs and Limbless Center every month to provide limbs to those who can't afford. Many of these patients today are kids, your age, parents and grandparents. All these people have lost their limbs due to accidents, birth defects, even diabetes, or multiple health reasons. But they have been strong. They have waited years for this day to finally be able to get a limb and walk again. The Limbs for the Limbless Center, also known popularly as Yayasan Peduli Tuna Daksa, works with Jaipur Food Technology in India to organize the installation of these artificial legs and hands to those who can't afford them. This was realized because of the concern for people with physical disabilities, like I mentioned before, due to multiple and various issues. Prosthetic hands and limbs are provided to all these patients free of cost by the NGO, thanks to generous donors like all of you. The patients come in at 8 o'clock every morning, and by 1 o'clock, their limbs are ready. And it's amazing to see how kids, I've seen kids as early as 1 year old who don't have a limb due to birth defects, how happy it is, the smile on their faces, they walk with joy. Sometimes, if they've not waited too long for a limb, it doesn't take long. And the same way, they can start taking small, small steps. Those who have become old, they do take time, but a matter of months, they all start walking. They all can go back to school, achieve their dreams. Parents can go and find jobs, work as Gojek people, or go back to what they were working as to provide for their families. So people think, okay, you're giving them a limb, but this is not just a limb to a patient. The donation impacts the whole family. By donating one limb, you don't make a difference on one soul. You make a difference on a whole family. I will show a brief video on how the limbs are made in the NGO. Before I end my speech, I want to share one thing. One question a lot of our donors ask me is, how do you actually know the patients who we are helping are those that are actually in need of help? The answer is very simple. The NGO doesn't do all the groundwork themselves. We partner with the Department of Social Services and various independent organizations who go and meet these patients and gather all the documentation, their identity cards, below the poverty line certificates, and all their patient information. And many of these patients come from areas like Bogor and even abroad. So thank you.
Thank you for that demonstration and giving us an insight into the process of making these prosthetics, which give a new ray of hope for those in need. Beacon Academy, along with its parents from FOBA, has been a school which always responded to the needs of the community, and we are proud today to contribute a sum of 30 million rupiah for providing the prosthetics for at least 15 people. These funds are generated by the collaborative efforts of the parents from the Friends of Beacon Academy and the students of the school. May I request Mr. Arvin and Ms. Shania to present the check to Ms. Duri and Mr. Bavish. We all as students are filled with pride today to be part of a noble initiative. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to call Bhavesh Adwani up again.
We're now going to start with the limb donations and show you guys how we install the limbs on the patients. We also hear from a few patients on what happened to them and what are their hopes for the future.
Ibu siapa namanya? Sartija. Oke, his mom is Sartija. Oke. Oh, nama kamu siapa? Siapa namanya? Dipanggilnya? Isban. So he is Isban. Kamu umur berapa? So he is 8 years old. He has below knee amputation. So this is kamu dari lahir atau kecelakaan? So he has this condition or amputation since birth. So this is called congenital amputation. So we have this device to help him to walk. And also kamu sekolah kelas berapa? So he is grade 1 of elementary school. Kamu sehari-hari ngapain aja? Bisa main nggak? Bisa. So kamu kalau main pakai alat? Pakai. So he is playing with this device for daily activities. Kamu bisa pakai alatnya nggak? Kira-kira? Coba dong contohin ke aku. Dipakai, coba pakai tangannya. So I would like to ask him to demonstrate to you all how to operate the device. So this is how he usually use the device. So there is a sponge or like liner to jadi dipakai dulu. Because the device is made by plastic, so the sponge will be avoid. Okay, coba jalan. So he will comfortable to use the device. Oke, mau bilang terima kasih nggak Ibu ke ininya? Nggak apa, nggak apa-apa. Mungkin terima kasih. Oh, so she is crying right now because she would like to thank you all to give the opportunity to him to able to walk, but she is too shy. So can we give her and him applause? Boleh turun. Okay. So I would like to ask the another patients to come to the stage. Kamu di situ aja duduknya. Kamu di situ. Ya udah dekat mama. Oke. It's okay. Oke, Ibu namanya siapa? Ibu Siti. Ini anaknya namanya siapa? Najiha. Dipanggilnya Jiha. Oke, Jiha. Jadi Ziha ini dia agak a bit cranky kalau misalnya nggak dipakai alatnya. Jadi dia ngerasa kayak there is a missing part of hers yang harus dia pakai gitu. Kalau misalnya kakinya dilepas, dia akan nangis. Ziha umurnya berapa Ibu? 2 tahun setengah. 2 tahun setengah. Oke, ini jadi awal mula amputasinya ini gimana ceritanya?
Ini bukan amputasi, ini bawaan dari lahir.
Oh, jadi sama ya kayak yang sebelumnya ya, yang tadi. Oke. Jadi ini amputasinya due to the congenital also. Nah, oke. Ibu kira-kira ke depannya Ziha bisa nggak sehari-hari kegiatan pakai kakinya yang ini?
Insya Allah bisa, soalnya sekarang aja jalannya udah bagus, udah lancar gitu.
So kita lihat ya, bisa nggak dia? Iya nggak apa-apa, pakai aja. Oke, coba jalan. Oke, sama A jalan. Oke. Oke Bu, kira-kira ada yang mau disampaikan nggak ke donaturnya?
Saya mengucapkan terima kasih banyak untuk para donatur yang sudah memberikan alat bantu kaki palsu buat Ade Jiha. Semoga bermanfaat buat Ade Jiha dan donaturnya. Semoga sehat selalu, panjang umurnya dan dibalas kebaikannya oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala.
Oke, thank you Ziha. Boleh turun lagi ya. So I would like to call another patients. Oke, we had another patients. Ibunya di sebelah sana. Oke. Namanya siapa?
Rizky.
Namanya Rizky. Rizky lagi sekolah atau gimana?
Mondok tadinya.
Lagi sekolah di pondok ya? Oke, kelas berapa?
Kelas 3 SMP.
Kelas 3 SMP, betul? Oke. Kamu ini keadaannya kecelakaan atau dari lahir atau gimana?
Lahir.
Dari lahir juga ya. So we have 3 patients have this condition based on congenital ya. So kamu bisa sehari-hari pakai alat kayak gini?
Bisa.
Oke. Aku mau lihat kamu bisa jalan ya. Oke. Ya, so this Kamu kira-kira di sekolah sehari-hari pakai alat kayak gini ngerasa malu nggak atau kayak malah justru terbantu dan kamu seneng gitu?
Enggak malu.
Terbantu ya. Kira-kira ada nggak yang mau kamu ucapin ke donaturnya?
Terima kasih aja. Semoga sehat selalu. Untuk donatur.
Oke deh, thank you Rizky. So that's 3 of our patients. I would like to give back the microphone to the Mr. Bawish.
So I hope you all understood what these patients go through and how strong they are. How strong they are that they waited so long for limb, and look how happy they are. Thanks to all of you. Now, of course, thank you again once again to Mr. Arvind, Mr. Richard, and the team of FOBA. Because of all of you, this would not have been possible. These patients are lucky. Because of all of you, they have been given a new life, a new ray of hope. Now, can I please invite Ms. Duri Kishan on stage, and Mr. Arvind, and Mr. Richard, and the FOBA parents to please receive a small token of thanks from our behalf. I would now like to invite Avisha back on stage to continue the assembly. Thank you.
Thank you for that informative and wonderful demonstration. Now I'd like to introduce FOBA, Friends of Beacon Academy, which is a collective group of like-minded parents who support the institution. Representing FOBA, we have Ms. Shania. Please give her a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen and fellow students, hope you are having a wonderful day today. Thank you for coming together today to join us in this initiative to work together with Eco Youth and the Limb for the Limbless Center. I am Shania, a proud member of FOBA Academy, of Friends of Beacon Academy. Okay, we are a parent support group that organize fundraisers, donation drives, and volunteer initiatives to gather essential resources. These contributions can in turn fund extracurricular activities and provide materials that enrich the learning environment. FOBA bring together diverse families, creating a network of support and friendship. This sense of community can lead to collaborative efforts in addressing common challenges, celebrating achievements, and creating a nurturing environment for our children. Today, I'm honored to stand before you to discuss an important topic that concerns us all, which is our social responsibilities to assist and support individuals who are limbless. As members of this community and as parents, it is crucial for us to recognize the challenges faced by those with limb loss and to actively contribute towards creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for them. We have a unique role in shaping the future generation, instilling values of empathy, compassion, and social responsibility in our children. By educating our youth about the experiences and needs of individuals with limb loss, we can foster understanding, acceptance, and kindness towards those who may be different from us. It is essential to teach our children that diversity is a strength and that everyone deserves respect and equal opportunities regardless of their physical abilities. Through our collective actions, we were able to raise much-needed resources and support for individuals in need. At present, our solidarity and commitment to Eco-Youth and the Limb for Limbless Center can pave the way for positive change and create a more inclusive and accessible society for all. Let us come together to uphold our social responsibilities towards individuals who are limbless. Let us lead by example, teaching our children the values of compassion, empathy, and inclusion, and working towards building a more equitable and supportive community for all. Today, we can make a difference and create a brighter future for those in need. Thank you for your attention and dedication to this very important cause. God bless us all.
Thank you, Ms. Shania. May I now call Mr. Arvin onto the stage to share his thoughts. Please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. How many of you use the elevator just because you had a sprain in school? Can I have a show of hands, please? How many of you ever used a crutch or a crepe band or a wheelchair at some stage or the other? Students, mostly middle and senior, junior school, keep running to the clinic every time you have a sprain on the stairs, right? You just witness something, something, think about it. Just with a small sprain that you have, you need so much attention. You can't bear that, I won't say little pain, but that pain, but think of the people who have to live their lives without a limb, without an organ of the body. It could be a finger, it could be a hand, it could be leg, it could be anything. And in one of the recent studies done by Monash University in Australia, they came up with a figure that Indonesia has somewhere around 10 million people with some form of disability or the other. And out of this, 76% of them are from accidents or congenital disorders like the birth defects. And many of them do not have access to any of these devices, whether prosthetics, hearing aids, or mobility devices. None of them have access to that. Now, for us as a school, I understand that we won't be able to, or we are not in a capacity to address this 10 million population, or 25% of those who actually have this kind of physical deformity. But at least whatever we can, we should be able to do that. And thank you, Bhavesh, from Eco Youth, and from Yayasan Peduli Tuna Bouncer for giving us an opportunity and to help those who in need. You know, it's always easy to say that, okay, we will go to some underprivileged area, we'll give them food and come back. We'll go to an orphanage, give them food and come back. We'll give them stationery to study and all that. But this particular project is something where you are giving a new life to people. And that is more impactful. And for that, on behalf of Beacon Academy, I'm very grateful to both the organizations for giving us this opportunity and for allowing children to be part of your noble initiative. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. Friends of Beacon Academy, again, a parent support group that we had right from the inception of the school. These are a group of parents who came together 15 years back when we started Beacon, and year on year the number grew. And though they are not directly involved in the management or decision making of the school, they have been part of the school in its journey for the past 15 years. Whether it is in an advisory capacity when needed, or raising funds, organizing events for us, organizing carnivals, and bringing in communities together anytime we need them. This is one group where they proved to be very dependable for us as a school. And this particular contribution which we made today is also from their hard work and dedication through the carnival and the fundraising that they have done pre-COVID times. Post-COVID, yes, we are still working on FOBA to bringing in FOBA back into action next year. Many of your parents actually could be part of it. You can actually ask your parents to be part of FOBA if you want, your parents to be there and help the community. But these funds are generated actually pre-COVID, and we are so grateful for FOBA for bringing us this opportunity, and also showing the school a way forward how we can move in terms of our notional community service to community service which is more purposeful and which will benefit a larger group of people in the long run. Thank you, FOBA, for that. Thank you. And thank you to all students. Actually, as I said, although they raise the fund, they do the fundraisers, but nothing is feasible without your active participation in that. So whatever we are doing here is from the student community, which came in from the student community. Thank you, students, for that. And to all the recipients sitting out there and all people, we are so grateful that you are able to come to school today, and in whichever small way, if you are able to contribute to making you see life in a different light, we are very, very grateful for that opportunity and for allowing us to do that for you. And we look forward to a continued association with the Yayasan and Eco Youth in the coming years. And as I was talking to our IB coordinators also, this is going to be one of our main CAS initiatives for the next couple of years to start with. And the incoming year 11 and the current year 11 will take it up as their CAS project. And we will be interacting with the Yayasan a lot. We will be visiting the facility where they make these limbs and also understand how the whole process works, so that wherever you are in life, maybe after Beacon, at least you understand the hardships faced by people and how you can contribute to make life more cheerful and colorful for people in future. So thank you everyone, and thank you both organizations for helping us, and thank you FOBA. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Bhavesh Advani from Eco Youth, representatives of Paduli Tuna Daksa, and FOBA for such a noble initiative, and we hope to continue working in partnership with them in the near future. Thank you, everyone. Please leave the auditorium in an orderly manner, starting with junior school, followed by middle and senior school. May I request the guests to stay back for some group photographs. Thank you and have a great evening.
Halo Ibu, Ibu namanya siapa?
Tea Kirana,
Ibu umurnya berapa Ibu?
39 tahun.
39 tahun. Ibu pekerjaannya sebelum amputasi apa Bu?
Sebelum amputasi kerja sebagai karyawan.
Karyawan ya. Ini amputasinya kapan dan kenapa boleh tahu nggak Bu?
Amputasi dulu tahun 2012 karena saya mengidap penyakit dari kecil itu spina bifida, kerusakan tulang punggung belakang.
Oke, itu amputasi tahun 2012. Terus ini nerima alat dari donatur Eco Youth ya. Dapat informasi dari mana Ibu?
Dari salah satu yayasan yang saya bergabung di salah satu grup.
Kira-kira ada yang mau disampaikan nggak Bu ke Eco Youth atau ke donaturnya?
Terima kasih banyak kepada Eco Youth, Beacon Academy, dan Yayasan Peduli Tuna Daksa yang sudah menolong kami sahabat Tuna Daksa, terlebih saya. Terima kasih banyak. Semoga Tuhan membalas kebaikan Bapak dan Ibu dan kiranya semakin menjadi perpanjangan tangan Tuhan. Tuhan memberkati.
Terima kasih Ibu.
Sama-sama.
Halo Bapak, Bapak namanya siapa?
Saya Budi Susanto.
Oke Pak Budi. Pak Budi ini kecelakaan atau kayak gimana ceritanya waktu amputasi?
Diabetes.
Diabetes, oke. Tahun berapa Pak?
Baru 3 tahun nih. Amputasinya 2 tahun.
Jadi diamputasinya 2 tahun. Terus ini alat pertama atau gimana?
Oh iya pertama.
Ini alat pertamanya ya, ya oke.
Terima kasih pada Bapak, saya Ibu semua di sini semua. Ya.
Oke, sebelumnya Bapak kerja atau gimana Pak aktivitasnya?
Enggak sosial juga, saya di agama Buddha.
Ini sekarang kira-kira bisa jalan nggak? Kalau misalnya itu bisa pakai tongkat. Oke, bentar ya. Bapak kira-kira ada kesan pesan nggak untuk donaturnya dan Eco Youth?
Kesan-kesannya ya saya terima kasih aja ya. Udah ini ya mudah-mudahan saya bisa lebih kayak kembali normal lagi. Iya.
Amin. Oke.
Halo Bu,
Namanya siapa?
namanya Darkutni.
Oke, Bapak, aku boleh tahu nggak historinya kenapa bisa amputasi dan kapan?
Historinya ini kecelakaan Bu, bawa mobil, terus langsung putus, langsung diamputasi. Tahun 2022.
Oke, berarti baru 2 tahun yang lalu ya. Sekarang Bapak usianya berapa, Pak?
Usianya 27.
Berarti waktu bawa mobil itu lagi kerja ya?
Iya lagi kerja Bu, bawa kontainer.
Oh, bawa kontainer. Tapi sekarang kira-kira bisa jalan nggak pakai kaki palsunya ini?
Insya Allah bisa Bu. Iya.
Berarti kira-kira bisa jalan pakai kaki palsu terus bisa aktivitas seperti dia kala ya?
Iya Bu, ya ini juga ya untuk bermanfaat sih. Soalnya saya juga alhamdulillah punya kaki palsu ini. Ya mudah-mudahan bermanfaat bagi saya Bu.
Amin. Ada ini nggak kesan-pesan buat donaturnya?
Ya ada sih pesan-pesan buat donaturnya. Terima kasih kepada Ibu dan Bapak telah memberikan kaki palsu kepada saya. Ini sangat berguna bagi saya. Sangat istilahnya saya untuk bisa berjalan lagi. Terima kasih kepada Bapak dan Ibu. Assalamualaikum.
Sekarang Bapak namanya siapa?
Rameni, namanya Rameni, umur 72 tahun.
Bapak ini kalau aku boleh tahu amputasinya kapan dan kenapa?
Amputasinya tahun 2022. Kecelakaan naik motor.
Kecelakaan naik motor kerja?
Ya enggak, pulang dari rumah adik.
Oke. Sehari-hari sebelumnya kerja atau gimana?
Enggak, sebelum saya udah lama enggak kerja dari 2006. Pertama saya kerjanya jadi kedi Ancol. 2006 terus.
Ini tadi kan saya lihat bisa ya nyoba buat jalan. Kedepannya gimana? Kira-kira mau belajar buat jalan atau enggak?
Iya mau, saya mau kedepannya saya supaya bisa berjalan walaupun kata sedikit juga itu.
Semoga lancar ya aktivitasnya ke depannya ya.
Iya, semoga aja saya juga banyak-banyak terima kasih kepada yayasan ini donatur, dapat kaki palsu. Tadinya nggak bisa jalan, sekarang bisa berjalan kembali walaupun sedikit-sedikit juga ya kan, gratis. Itulah yang saya ucapkan, banyak-banyak terima kasih sekali.
Oke.
Halo, selamat siang Ibu. Ibu namanya siapa Ibu?
Ibu Ariati.
Kalau boleh tahu umurnya berapa?
53 tahun.
Itu amputasi kakinya, kalau boleh tahu kenapa ya?
Karena penyakit gula.
Oke, motivasi setelah mendapatkan donasi kaki palsu ini apa ya, Bu?
Motivasinya untuk bisa berjalan kembali seperti semula.
Oke,
Terima
baik.
kasih kepada Bacon Academy 10 yang telah memberikan kaki palsu kepada Ibu Aryati. Motivasi Ibu Aryati semoga bermanfaat dan bisa jalan kembali normal seperti semula. Terima kasih saya ucapin sebelumnya.
Oke. Halo Kak, selamat siang. Nama kakaknya siapa ya? Umur kakaknya berapa?
Umur 29.
Kalau boleh tahu penyebab kakinya diamputasi kenapa ya Kak?
Kecelakaan dulu karena membusuk gitu kakinya.
Motivasi setelah mendapatkan kaki palsunya apa ya Kak?
Motivasinya ya alhamdulillah bisa jalan seperti normal lah ya gini. Berterima kasih juga sama Pak Esra sama Bapak Teddy yang telah membantu dan mengasih kaki palsu donasi ini kepada saya.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih kepada Sekolah Akademik 10 yang telah mendonasikan kaki palsunya. Halo, selamat pagi Bu. Namanya siapa Ibu?
Saya Ibu Lenita.
Usianya berapa?
43.
Kalau boleh tahu penyebab amputasi kakinya kenapa ya Bu?
Kecelakaan lalu lintas di Bogor.
Oh, pada tahun kapan itu Bu?
November 2023 ini.
Motivasinya setelah mendapatkan kaki palsu ini?
Ingin berjalan normal seperti biasa, melakukan aktivitas seperti biasa. Saya berterima kasih kepada Bacon Academy 10 untuk donasinya kaki palsu saya.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih Bu.
Sama-sama Kak.
Halo, selamat sore Pak Di.
Selamat sore.
Nama adiknya siapa ya?
Raudi Aprianda.
Raudi Aprianda. Usianya berapa tahun Pak?
Sekarang 17.
Oke.
17 tahun.
Kalau boleh tahu penyebab amputasi kakinya kenapa ya?
Tahun 2018 ditabrak motor pulang sekolah.
Motivasi adiknya setelah mendapatkan kaki palsu?
Biar lebih semangat ke depannya.
Oke.
Terima kasih kepada pihak Bacon Academy 10 yang telah membantu kaki palsu buat anak saya Raudi Aprianda. Semoga pihak PON Akademi 10 lebih maju ke depannya gitu.
Oke. Terima kasih ya Pak. Halo, selamat siang Pak.
Siang, Mbak.
Nama bapaknya siapa ya Pak?
Saya Dumroni, Mbak.
Oke, usianya?
Usia saya 39, jalan 40.
Kalau boleh tahu penyebab amputasinya kenapa ya Pak?
Waktu itu saya kecelakaan ditabrak kontainer sih, cuman waktu itu kan hampir nyamping. Jadi sudah hampir setahun di rumah sakit, akhirnya diamputasi juga.
Oke. Motivasi Bapak setelah mendapatkan kaki palsu?
Itu jadi tambah semangat, Mbak. Jadi karena kan juga di rumah kan ada anak sama istri saya untuk saya nafkahin. Jadi karena dengan kaki palsu ini saya bisa tambah semangat untuk bekerja, walaupun kerja apapun lah, yang penting halal.
Iya, oke, baik. Terima kasih kepada pihak
Terima kasih pada pihak PON Akademi 10 yang telah mendonasikan kaki palsu ini kepada saya.
Oke, terima kasih Pak.
Terima kasih ya Mbak.
Halo, selamat sore Bapak Ade. Nama adenya siapa ya Pak?
Zafira Askamaira.
Usia adenya?
9 tahun.
Kalau boleh tahu penyebab kakinya kenapa ya Pak?
Jadi habis vaksin Sinovac yang kedua, 3 hari panas, lalu dia merasa lemas kakinya.
Oke. Motivasi setelah mendapatkan kaki AVO ini gimana ya Pak?
Untuk biar dia bisa jalan kembali dengan normal.
Oke, baik. Sebelumnya terima kasih kepada pihak PON Akademi 10 yang telah mendonasikan kaki AVO-nya untuk Ade Syafira ya? Zafira. Oke. Semangat ya. Halo, selamat pagi Bu.
Pagi.
Kalau boleh tahu nama ibunya siapa ya?
Ibu.
Ibu Ipa. Oke, Ibu Ipa. Penyebab amputasi kenapa ya Ibu?
Karena itu tadinya penyakitnya kayak gula, tapi ternyata dia bukan diabetes lah gitu. Jadi dia kenanya tumor ganas.
Oh, usia ibunya berapa?
84.
Oke. Motivasi setelah mendapatkan kaki palsu apa ya Ibu?
Biar bisa aktivitas dan jalan.
Gitu. Oke.
Iya.
Oke, terima kasih kepada pihak PON Akademi 10 yang telah mendonasikan kaki palsu kepada Ibu Ipah ya. Pada Ibu Ipah. Oke Ibu, terima kasih.
Sama-sama.